Gather around the hearth, my fellow Dawi, grab some of that sweet Bugman's brew, and welcome to the showdown between the Dwarves, who shall be led by a Rune Lord, and the Warriors of Chaos, who are going to be helmed by Archaon, the occasionally chosen. So on that note, guys, let's jump right into this match and have some fun. So as far as the build goes, it's very much going to be a Dawi Onion, which you pretty much have to do. And the reason why you have to go Onion against Chaos is because of Chariots. Chariots are really the bane of the Dwarves, and even the cheap Chaos Chariots, which only cost 750, can cause so much disruption in your back line. So the way that you deal with this is you go very wide. So you have Thunders here, 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 and here. And you notice there's a lot of space between them. So for example, if a Chariot slams into this group, which inevitably will, right? It's going to be tough. You're able to get crossfire. So this Thunder here, the other one right here, can also shoot and kind of cover it. So you're kind of minimizing your losses from the Chariots. Now, if you were very tightly packed and just had them shoulder to shoulder, which does have its benefits, having a tightly packed formations for like buffs and rune magic and things like that. If a single Chariot gets into your gun line, it's going to be able to just Tokyo drift all the way through your formation, and you're going to have a really bad time. So that's the reason why you kind of spread out like this. In the Vanguard, we got three groups of miners. These brave Dawi are going to be taking the beating initially, and they basically are just kind of holding the tide of chaos back. They're not going to win any of their battles, but they hold them back with their 80 armor and pretty good leadership for the cost. The secondary line is going to be Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I honestly think trying to trade with Chaos in terms of infantry by bringing better troops like hammers and longbeards just isn't worth it, because Chaos infantry are just so cost effective against Dwarf infantry. So just going cheaper, and honestly, these guys aren't bad. They have 30 weapon strength, 30 melee defense, very good leadership, good armor. You basically just hold them with these guys, shoot them with the Thunders. Once that breaks, you hold them with the Dwarf Warriors, keep shooting them, keep using Runes of Wrath and Rune to kind of saturate them down. And it's just a very grindy process. But again, it's how you have to play against Chaos, in my opinion. In the back, we got four groups of the Thunders. They're going to be letting their guns sing against these foul Chaos heretics. So hopefully it'll work out. And we have three Slayers. So we have Giant Slayers, Dragonback Slayers, as well as regular Slayers. So you notice the positioning of the Slayers. I put them between the guns so that if, pretty much everything's covered, right? If a Chariot slams into this group, I can cover them from this angle. And if they get even further, I have secondary defenses. It's kind of just a bit of a, more layers to the onion. Yeah, it's always a good time. Cannon in the back, which is going to be guarded by miners. Of course, the miners aren't going to be the best guardians of that piece right there, but nonetheless, a cannon is quite good against Chariots. So that's pretty much it for my build. And for my opponent, it's relatively standard Chaos with the exception of actually bringing Archaon and Foot. So this is a very unorthodox pick. But aside from that, he has all great weapon infantry. He has Chariot, so he pretty much has, everything that you need against the Dwarves. But Archaon does have a couple decent abilities. His Vortex abilities, like Cascading Fire Cloak, the Flamestorm, if you do actually land it on some of the infantry, it can do some okay damage. I still think it's a little bit subpar against Dwarves, but nonetheless, Archaon is a decent hunter of runesmiths and, dwarven characters. But I still think Sartorial is probably the best pick, followed up by, I even think Kolek would probably be a little bit better, although he's a really big target, so it's a little scary to bring him. But yeah, probably the best pick is going to be, I would say, Sartorial. That missile resistance is so good, but we'll see how Archaon does. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and see if the Dawi can fend off these foul heretics. So Chaos is going to be going up the hill with the Chariots, pulling back once they do get in range of my guns here, but it looks like he's really tempted to go into the Thunders, which is exactly what I want. If he goes in there, I slap him with a Rune of Wrath and Rune, and this cannon coming in and gets a direct hit. Look at the damage it does. That Chariot just took a cannonball right to the face. Now, some of the Dwarves do have to get run over for the cause here, which is a little bit tough, but we're going to be getting massive volleys of fire. The Rune of Wrath and Rune might not have been necessary, but I figured it would give me an extra volley. So we do some pretty good damage. The Chariots are almost down to one model, which is quite nice. So very good start there. Those are the biggest things to worry about, the Chariots, because your Dwarf infantry will actually hold okay against like Marauders and even Chaos Warriors and stuff like that. The guns are going to be opening up on these troops right here, so these Marauders are going to be getting peppered a little bit. And the miners will be turning around to fight them in a second. I think I actually missed this charge here by just a second, but it's not a big deal. So we're going to keep shooting them. In the meantime, some of the Chariots do go up and around the back. He's getting a nice little surround, but he does also have Chosen with great weapons mixed in. I think in total, he has two groups of those guys. So yeah, I didn't really notice that. So it's going to be a little bit scary going in. So right now, we're just playing cat and mouse. He's going around my back line with the Chariots, trying to get into the goodies and cookie jar, but the Giant Slayers are going to be fending him off. And, I have that spread coverage, so whenever he goes, I'm able to turn, I'm able to get some really good shot with the Dawi guns, and you can see they're just going to be singing into these guys, doing beautiful damage. The other group in the meantime is going to be shooting into the front. Archaon just going balls deep here, just actually trying to chase down my Lord. And who's faster? 41 speed, it looks like he's a little bit quicker, 32, but we're going to be getting some Thunder Fire, just kind of blasting him in the face, and the Dwarf Warriors will be trying to chase him. In the meantime, the Chariots are able to outmaneuver me a little bit, so I got a little bit sloppy over chasing, and as such, I'm going to pay the iron price here. These Chariots are going to be slamming in, but I have reserves, so the Dragonback Slayers as well are going to be intercepting them. It looks like we might have a little bit of a pit fight right here, but everywhere I go, some of my Thunders are free, which is good. As long as there's like one or two groups perpetually firing, you're going to be in okay shape. In the front line, it's obviously not going quite as well for me. You can see the Chosen are just going to be routing off my miners here. They're going to eventually push with these Dwarf Warriors, and yeah, the front line fight's a little bit tough. Chaos Warriors are getting in, but everywhere is pretty much kind of, occupied. The miners are holding back the Chaos Marauders right here. Over here, the Dwarf Warriors actually beat the Marauders because I used a Rune of Wrath and Ruin to support them. And we're also going to be dropping a Rune of Wrath and Ruin here on these Chaos Warriors. So just trying to fall back and shoot and scoot and take out those chariots. So the other group of chariots does get taken out pretty good here. I believe the first one we shot at, here it is up on the hill, it does have 2 chariots coming back in. So we're just trying to reform our battle line here. So one group of Thunders does get compromised. Like I said, it's pretty much inevitable, but if you have that crossfire and a little bit of space between all your units, it'd be good. Oh, look at that Flamestorm. That did a ton of damage. Very good cast there from my opponent. Looks like it was overcasted. It might be going into the Slayers, which is going to be unfortunate, but Dragonback Slayers do have massive fire resist, which is hilarious. So even if it did, it wouldn't do much. I do have to use some of my Slayers to hold back the frontline fight, which isn't great. But all that matters is I'm buying time to finish off the chariots here. So these chariots trying to get in the back, but this one is probably going to be breaking, if not shattering right here. It's taken a ton of damage over the course of the game. And basically just going to be falling back with these Thunders, falling back with everything, using the Slayers as a defensive screen and just trying to pepper these guys down. So some of the Dwarf Warriors do have the Lord of the End Time surrounded. He's also going to be getting tagged with tons of shots. Now Archaon does actually have a silver shield, so he's no slouch when it comes to taking missile pressure. But there's pretty much a full health group of Chosen coming in, which is going to be really scary. So right now it's time for the last Samurai of the Gods. We're going to be opening up. The Dwarven guns are just going to be unloading into these guys. And these Chosen with Great Weapons are going to be just getting hammered by that Dwarven fire. Beautiful stuff right there. They've only lost 2 models, but it's really going to start adding up. And Chosen are very slow. They only have 28 speed, so you can even almost kite them with Thunders. So we're going to be pulling back here. Some of the chariots unfortunately did get back in here, but I'm going to be adjusting my Slayers to make sure I have the adequate resources to deal with them. And if the Chosen are going to chase one group here with these Thunders, I'm going to pull them back, pull these guys back, use a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on those guys to kind of slow them down. And I will also be attacking them with Giant Slayers. Now, Giant Slayers actually have pretty good AP, so they're going to be able to get in here and actually kill quite a few of these Chosen who are very beat up at this point. Now, 1-to-1 Chosen would obviously win, but the Dwarves, we fight shoulder to shoulder. We don't fight alone here, so we're able to pepper these guys down. They're actually wavering right now. And these guns that just kind of fell back due to the time bot from these Slayers are going to be turning and just opening up on those guys. Now, the Bounce Power does go in my favor a little bit here, but there's still quite a bit of Chaos. Chaos Marauders are going to be coming in, and some of the Reserve Miners, so my last wave of Reserves are going to be going in to hold these guys back. And I also do commit some Slayers here because I know these are Chosen. I need to hold them back. And we also do drop a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on those guys, or maybe that was a Cascading Fire Cloak from my opponent. Anyways, up on the hill, a couple Chosen with Great Weapons are going to be coming in. This one group just gets hammered down by the Dwarven guns, and the guns are also going to be opening up, shooting here at the Chariots, so we are able to burn down those Chariots, which is quite nice, and Archaon's just kind of on the hunt, but we do have him kind of dragged down by Slayers. Slayers are actually a little bit faster than him, I think. No, his speed looks like he always has Foe Secret pops when I check, but I think his base speed is like 36. So at this point, I saw Archaon in open field, so I'm like, there's no point in fighting him. He's like a master combatant, right? So let's fall back. He pops Slayer of Kings. Let's waste that. Let's fall back. Let's just unload with everything we can. We're even shooting him with a cannon, so this is truly a Last Samurai moment here. As you can see, Archaon is just going to be getting just blunderbuss right here. Beautiful stuff. Lord of the End Times is going to be running. Definitely not his forte. I mean, the Silver Shield is helping him quite a bit here and certainly wasting a lot of my ammunition. And in the meantime, you can see the Chosen are coming, so it is kind of a bit of a distraction. But Archaon is very expensive. Just cannons and gunfire going. And as far as his HP goes, Archaon has 393. I can't remember if we actually finished him off here, but anyways, he's going to be getting peppered pretty good. And the Chosen are now chasing, so we're going to be going for Archaon. And Archaon gets taken out. Falls by the, well, I should say the metal ball of the Dwarven guns here. And the rest of the Chaos Army is going to break at that point due to army losses, as the rest of the battlefield was going pretty well. So well played to my opponent. It was a fun game for sure, and I got to see a little bit of an unorthodox Archaon play. The Flamestorm, the one he did some pretty good damage, but it's a very expensive spell to overcast. It's like 17 or 18 wins of magic. But the rest of the army was fine. Like Chaos Warriors, I mean, you got Marauders, like it's hard to fight. You have Chariots. But I think that one of the biggest things that went well for us is we were able to really effectively screen out the Chariots. They got a couple okay charges, but for the most part, they were constantly taking fire, constantly running from Slayers and being shot at. I think that was pretty clutch. On top of that, the front line held surprisingly well against an elite force like this. The Chosen still got a ton of kills, obviously, but they were able to hold long enough to allow my guns to kill the Chariots, which is the biggest thing in this matchup. And then from there, you can simply kite out the Chosen. You can shoot them with Thunders. It's so funny to say that you're actually kiting with Dwarves, but you do kind of kite them a little bit. It's more or less just falling back. Because, I mean, they run the same speed, so you're not really creating distance. But yeah, I really like this build quite a bit. This is like a build I've used against countless, very, very good Chaos players, and it's done very well for me. So if anyone wanted to see how to deal with Chariots with Dwarves, this is certainly the way. Now, Chaos does have a couple more optimal builds. If you cut Archaon and get Sartorial, it's going to be a much harder situation because he's going to be running rampant amongst your gun line. So it's like an extra monster you have to deal with, but it would still be okay. It depends. I mean, they can beat you, of course, but you're still going to have answers in the Slayers to kind of fend him off at least. Well, you try and focus down everything else. But yeah, it wasn't a bad build. I think getting the Chaos Warriors, the Great Opens or the Chosen, I would probably cut one Chosen, to be honest. I think 2 Chosen is probably enough, and the Chaos Warriors and Archaon And yeah, I can actually show you guys a build right now. So again, well played to my opponent, NEP. I don't know if those are ones or L's, but will NEP. Look forward to playing against you again. And on that note, let's go ahead and take a look at some sweet Chaos builds. Yeah, I got a lot of replays coming up for you guys here. So let's go here. And if you are playing Chaos against Dwarves, I mean, that's probably, I think, one of the more optimized ways to play Dwarfs against Chaos, but as far as Chaos goes, you got to go for Warp Chicken. He's just so good. You get the Searing Doom, which is going to be really good, and then you get the Transmutation of Lead to help out in like fights. So Searing Doom, you just drop on the guns in the back line. It's a really cheap spell just to trigger your metal shifting. And from there, if you want to get Chosen, go for it. You can mix in a couple Chosen. I'm certainly a fan of those guys. And getting a couple like standard Marauders to get around the back line. Like these guys, this is going to be like your frontline fighting. These guys here. And honestly, you don't even really, I mean, Chosen are a little bit overkill. You know, like going with just the standard Chaos Warriors with Grey Opens is pretty effective. And then from there, you actually get a lot of these. Now, I actually have a Chaos special that I really like against Dwarves. You get the Demon Spew, and you run them out around the far side of the flank, and you actually attack the Slayers because they kill Slayers super fast, and they win that fight very, it's not very, very one-sided. So you go something like this, and then from there, you mix in a couple Chaos Chariots like so. Those guys just do a ton of work. Now, it's good to mix in Marauder Horsemen as well in case they go with like a very sneaky Gyrocopter play. I usually get 2 of them. Pretty good against gyros. Plus, they have decent AP against like other targets, like just whatever else you want to shoot at. And they can harass Slayers. It brings plenty to the table. Probably cut one of these guys, get some Poison Hounds as well, just to kind of pressure. And from here, you can just like Chevron your Chaos Warriors. A build like this would be pretty nasty for sure against the Dawi. And of course, just adjust the Chevrons accordingly. So guys, thank you so much for watching this this Dawi versus Chaos showdown. The Grungni and Valaya will certainly be proud to stay. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.